All right, we're back. Round two. A couple tech issues there, but hopefully this will stay on and we don't have to restart it again. So we'll rewind, go back to the beginning. My name is Kim Levinsky, race director and owner of Sasquatch Trail Running, and I am joined here by Joe Brandine, who's co-race director for Wild Goose Trail Festival. What's up, Joe?
Not much. Just getting ready to be out all weekend in the fun, beautiful weather, unlike today, which I wish it was this weather all weekend.
What?
Oh,
What?
yeah, I'm a masochist. It's okay. I love the rain.
Joe, come on now. Come on.
I miss those Hurricane Ophelia days.
Oh my goodness. See, Ophelia is becoming like it's really at this point Sasquatch lore legend. It's the fish story that keeps growing bigger.
Hmm.
Except it's true how bad it actually was for
Just a little
Ophelia.
wet, a little windy. That's all. A little wet, a
Yes,
little windy.
just a smidge. So the forecast has been consistent now for the last week, where it's been saying that it's going to be nice. So I think today is Wednesday. We are in the clear. We only got a couple more days, and the forecast looks chef's kiss really nice. So this evening we've got a bunch of pre-submitted questions. We're going to go through them rapid fire. Joe and I are going to just bounce back and forth, fill in supplement the questions and answers, and we've got a really nice collection of questions that kind of span the whole festival. So I tried to group them so we're not bouncing all over the place, but we are going to cover a lot tonight. So let's jump into it. First question is, I will be camping on Friday night. I'd like a little more direction on specifically where to park and its relation to the start area for when we arrive. Joe, do you want to hop in on that? I queued up a picture here, so you can start chatting, and I'll bring up the picture
Please,
of the
God.
site.
And I'll start this conversation of when you get to the park, if it's your first time there, you'll enter the park. It'll be pitch black. You'll be driving for what feels like forever in the dark. That's good. We want that. You'll follow the directions. We'll have arrows and signs out, and then you'll come to the Squatch HQ and the parking lot area. We'll have large tents there. And if Kim, you can zoom in on the map a little bit, but these are very, very. Oh, please, and also please use the address we give you. Don't just put in
Yes.
YYN Park. Otherwise, you'll be huffing it a little bit if you go to the locked gate.
Well, actually, Joe, you might have missed this last email. Was that we have the auxiliary gate key all weekend, so we're going to be able to keep it
Ah,
open, which is
oh,
so much nicer. This Joe is referencing what we've had issues in the past with the auxiliary gate being locked, and then people have to drive 20 minutes around. So this gate is always going to be open the whole weekend, which is phenomenal. So you can enter through the auxiliary gate, which
okay.
is like a suburbs area, and it's called Barry Lakes, and that address is 120 Way Yonder Road. Or over here, the main park entrance, which is Warwick Turnpike. And that's more towards like the drive-in movie theater and the shop
Hmm.
right over in Hewitt. And then we've got our map here for Squatch HQ and parking. So parking will be a trip this weekend with all the people that we have coming out. Um, we're gonna have to really work together to make parking go flawless. So we've got a bunch of volunteers who are going to be assisting us. But basically, like if you're coming on Friday, you're pretty much guaranteed to get a spot in the A lot, which is the main parking lot, or the B overflow on the grass. It's great with the weather because we can park on the grass without any issues from the park. So we'll be able to have some nice overflow parking. And then once these lots fill up, which they probably will, if not Friday night, then Saturday morning, we're going to start doing overflow. So there's the first overflow lot is it's labeled the horse trailer lot. There's a sign out there, and then that's a grass area. And once that's filled, it could fit about 30 cars or so. The big overflow parking lot is the boat launch, which is labeled D, and then we've got some overflow parking on the grass there. So plenty of parking to go around, but just make sure you're following the direction of the volunteers when you arrive on site at Squatch HQ. Um,
Yeah, and I assume you're going to have everyone's going to have a lot of gear to unload. If you get a close spot, just unload and go from there. If you have to pull up, dump off a few things, then walk it in. Over by the playground is probably the best spot to do it
yeah.
because it's actually paved over there, and you'll have access to our camping fields, which was on the map. The areas in blue.
Yes. Yeah. And I can't remember if there was a question about parking later on, but we'll address that right now. There is a $5 parking fee. Again, all this information you should have. It's in the Trail Party Handbook. We've been emailing about it, but the park charges $5 special event fee. We don't make any money off of that. It goes directly to the park, and it's a way to get funds back to them so they can keep Way Wayanda beautiful and amazing. So it's $5. We're only doing cash this year to keep it simple. Please bring exact change. That makes it a lot easier. But we will collect that when you come in to the check-in area. Our volunteers will be there, and you're going to get a hang tag that you'll go and put in your car, and you're going to keep that visible the entire weekend. All right. Joe, this is a great question for you with camping.
Mhm.
So, is camping first come, first serve, or are there designated spots for each
It,
runner?
It is first come, first serve for camping in our areas. There should be sufficient space for everybody who wants to camp out. But that, again, it is, we're not reserving any spaces for any individual people. And with that, please be mindful of the space you take up. I think 10 by 10 is kind of the space that we allotted to each runner or group. If you're going to lump up together, get a little bigger. But if you're going to bring a whole family of 20 people in a giant tent, maybe go all the way into the lake near the lake for that, not in the lake.
Yeah, and we've talked about as a team how amazed we were last year. Where there's some races that they'll put maybe chalk on the ground to mark it out. We're not doing that, but you guys did it on your own. It was like straight lines, everyone's next to each other. It was just beautiful. So I think it's probably a common sense thing where we can all figure that out. But you guys did a really nice job with organizing that. So this wasn't asked, but we are going to say this 100 times. Mandatory stakes. You have to stake down your tent. Joe,
I
do you
have my
want to
bolt cutters
touch on
ready for
that a
this
little
year.
bit?
Yes, we over the years, people set up tents without any weights inside or stakes on the outside, and a good gust of wind will pick up any tent and throw it a little bit. Ophelia, we lost 15 tents or so, and I actually started cutting them up. Once they
RIP.
start getting mangled, and these aren't like the little camping tents; these are the pop ups, easy ups, things like that are metal. Yeah, I have bolt cutters just for this reason that are always in my car.
It was
If you
bad.
need help setting up a tent, just ask. One of
Yeah.
us is around. We can help you out a little bit, or another runner or a crew will help you out.
Yeah. And please take that to heart. Bring stakes. Usually tents come with them. If you don't want to lug a hammer around, we've got plenty that you can borrow. Um, so just be mindful of that. Don't think like, oh, my tent is heavy enough, it's not going to fly. Our really big Sasquatch tent, it's gone airborne. So, and that's even with the sandbag.
Mhm.
So um, save yourself some money by not having to throw your tent away at the end of the
Yeah.
weekend.
I'll just add one more about the tents, camping
Yeah.
spots. The race course actually runs through all the tents, the center core
Yes.
right through. We have to keep that area open with a little buffer, everyone to walk back and forth, runners go through, and then just breaks in the tents. So in case people have to get through. So every now and then you'll just see a mark out maybe, or if we ask you to move over a few feet, we'll try and be on top of that before you actually stake down your tents.
Yeah, and you'll see like we're getting there early on Friday to start putting the big bulky stuff out. So like you're going to see our finish line shoot. Obviously, you're not setting up a tent in the middle of the shoot. We've got flag bunting with stakes that you're going to see. It's basically like a big line that'll go through either side of the tents where everybody will finish every loop coming through there. All right. So next question: will there be a Starlink or cell service available? And should runners bring satellite devices?
Yes, we have Starlink. We actually have two. We have one for Rage HQ, which we will not give out the password for, and then we have another one, a bigger one for everyone. I believe it's the 100, the 36 hour, the 50 mile. And do we break that down to 50K as well?
No, just the Sunday. I'm sorry, just the
Saturday.
Saturday events, which would include all you said. The 50K is on Sunday, but the longer distances on Saturday, we will have the Starlink available for you guys.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. Are campfires allowed? Can my crew bring a propane stove to cook? So, campfires are not allowed because our fire permit only covers the campfire that we have at Squatch HQ, which they know it's an elevated cauldron. It's been so dry here too. That's another reason why we don't even use the bonfire pit that they have. We have an elevated cauldron where it's off of the ground, and we're not taking any chances with ground fires. But so no, you can't have your own campfire. Like, don't bring a solo stove or anything like that. But you, yes, most definitely can do propane stove if you want to bring
Mhm.
that with you. Waiwayanda also has a lot of charcoal grills throughout the picnic groves, which you're welcome to use. They are always in use throughout the whole summer, so they're in good shape if you want to do the whole charcoal thing. But you're welcome to bring
Mhm.
like a Coleman camp stove or something like that. All right, next question. My fiance will be spectating. Are dogs allowed?
No, dogs are not allowed in our race. Dogs are allowed in the park though. So if you're
Yeah,
hanging around all of our area, part of our events, our permit does not allow cover dogs. That's just our insurance. If your fiance is meandering around the park himself, well, that's the park.
yeah,
So
yeah.
please keep the dogs out of our area.
We always have that question, and a lot of folks will come back and say, like, but my dog's super friendly. That might be true, but there are a lot of people who are uncomfortable around dogs. And an event like this, it's not a great setting to have your four-legged friend with. There's just going to be so many people. And even though it's a big open area with the amount of people that are there, it's not a great situation for a dog to be hanging out. So, all right, the next one. How will the trails be marked for the different courses? So we actually got a couple of questions like this. I just kind of lumped them together. Again, all this info is you've got access to it ahead of time. So our three loops, we've got checkered, blue, and pink, and they are all marked with the corresponding colors. So we have pink ribbons for the pink loop, we have checkered ribbons for the checkered loop, and blue ribbons for the blue loop. And I just had the course markers. They're local runners. They just stopped by about an hour ago to pick up all the course markings. They're gonna start working on that. I promise you, it is so well marked. It is like trail marking vomit, to not even an exaggeration. There's so many markers, and all of our course markers are also reflective. So in the evening when your headlamp hits it, it's it'll illuminate the markers. And want to give a shout out to, there's a Sasquatter, Matt. He made us some really sweet reflective signs that we're going to have out on the road. They're going to light up like a Christmas tree. So you're going to be in good shape for navigating the course. All right, next question. Are there water stations on the course?
Well, technically, no, but all of our loops come through HQ, so that is where our water is. You should bring hydration with you if you're used to doing that. But again, our loops are 4.75 miles, 6 miles, and 7.75 miles. If you need water during that kind of distance, take it with you. If you don't, you can rely on what's on your tent or at HQ.
Yes. All right. How do we know which loop to do next? So I have a prop for this one. The bibs
The
just came
most
in.
amazing bibs we've ever seen in the world.
Oh, so good. All right, take a look at that. This is also in the Trail Party Handbook, but you will notice at the bottom there's all these letters. So, Joe, what is that mumbo jumbo down there?
Hold on, let me turn. Oh, wait, they're upside down on purpose. Or when you look
Uh-huh.
down on your bib. So that is our loop order. So it's pink, checker, blue, pink, checker, blue, pink, checker, blue, pink, checker, blue, pink, checker, blue. Um, we try and keep that synced across as many distances as we can. You'll know on the shorter distances, you'll that changes a little bit at the end. But after each loop, we will our someone at Timing HQ will mark off the loop you just came off of. That does not absolve you of knowing where you were and where you were going. We are just trying to help you. So we will ask you, what loop did you just come off of? And that we will mark that off. So
Yes.
always look down at your bib. That's where you're going next.
Yeah, it's also it doubles as a little cognition check for our volunteers. They're checking to make sure you are still uh, knowing where you are on planet Earth, and it's a good thing. So, one thing we will mention, this was great feedback from both volunteers and you guys who were out there last year, is that we are going to have a couple of, we're calling them info boards. So, these boards will have information like cutoff times, but one of the big ones is the mileage that you will hit for each loop. Again, this is in the Trail Party Handbook, but now it's going to be at the finish line. So if you get to uh, your, this is, I'm just making this up, your third pink loop, it's going to be mile so and so. And that's all going to be listed so you can keep track of that, along with other like hot FAQs that we have on there. That was good feedback that we got. So, all right. Next one, are there time cutoffs? Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
There
indeed.
for your safety.
Yes, indeed. Let me see. We got this guy
Yeah.
here.
All right.
All right. So these are our time cutoffs. Joe, do you mind reading that? Because we're posting this on our podcast, so we're going to do a little audio too.
Sure. So for our 100-milers, you must begin your final loop, the pink loop, by 3:45 p.m. on Sunday. Now remember, you have until 7 p.m. that night to finish that loop. If you're not there, sorry, you can't run. The 36 hours must finish their final loop by 7 p.m. on Sunday. That is going to be a judgment call by the people at timing, just because
Mhm.
everyone on the 36-hour course is going to be in different places. Some people can go be trying for 125 miles. Some people could be trying for 50 miles. We will make the judgment of what time to start your last loop, but figure, if you're coming through at 6 o'clock, ready to start another loop, you're not going out.
Mhm.
Um, or I didn't read the line right under it. You must begin your final checker loop. That must be for the
Oh, apologies. Yeah, that is. Which one is that? I think I copied it twice. Apologies. Yeah, I
no,
copied it
that's the
twice.
100K.
100K, 100K,
That's
100K.
100K. So the 100K, you must begin your final checkered loop by 2:30 p.m. on Sunday. 50 milers, you must begin your final pink loop by 1:30 p.m. And then the 50Kers, you must begin your final loop, the checkered loop, by 4 p.m.
Yeah, and all these are it's the standard ultra math. So basically, how we calculate that is we take the average time it would require you to finish within the 36-hour cutoff or shorter distance for Sunday, and then we figure what is that pace and how long would it take to do your last loop. So it's not a made up number. It's a very scientific ultra math that's happening there. All right, next one. Can we drop down to a shorter distance mid race? This is, I think, our only event that we do not allow drop downs. And that's simply because there's so much time that's available. The cutoffs are very generous, and there's also now over 400 people. So it's just too much to keep track of with dropping down. So this is our one race where you have until check in to decide if you're going to do that event. So if you get to check in and you're like you're signed up for the 100 and you decide, you know what, I think I'm going to switch to the 36. That's fine. You just got to let us know and we'll switch it. But once the race starts and you take your bib, like that's it. It's your final
Mhm.
answer.
I personally think everyone should just sign up for the 36-hour race because you do whatever you did and you finish.
Yeah, it's true. No DNFs in
Mhm.
the fixed time event. So, all right, Joe, this is your question here. What should I do if I want to take an extended break during the race? Do I need to tell anybody?
If you could be kindly to tell the timing staff that you're going to go sleep, and that you're off course, we will try and track that. Just so in the middle of the night, or if someone calls and asks like where is such runner, we know where you are. You're being tracked not live, but every time you come through HQ, you're being tracked. So we'll run quality safety checks on anyone who hasn't been around in an acceptable period of time. So please tell us.
Yep. Yeah, that helps us out knowing if, and especially too, we make up signs for this race when we put them all on the edge of the parking lot that says, "Did you check out with us?"
Mhm.
So this is really important for the 36-hour folks that, you know, you can go for 12 hours and decide, you know what, I'm done, maybe tweaked your ankle or something and you don't want to keep going, but you got to let us know that you are done so we know you're off of the course. So make sure you check out with us. All right. Next question. How do I register my pacer? How do pacers check in at the race? This was another one that we got great feedback on last year. Um, you guys didn't say it was a hot mess, but that's how I saw it was pacers. So we didn't have like a check-in process for pacers. We will have that this year, where we got to know that you have filled out the form ahead of time. It's a Google form that's all linked on the website. We will have a QR code there if there's like a last minute change with your pacing team and you need to register them. But they need to check in with us so that we can give them the bib and make sure they have registered. It doesn't cost anything to register, but there's a waiver that you need to sign. But you'll check in with us. We'll give you the bib, and just make sure you do that ahead of time. It'll be way more helpful if you do that right now, like today, tonight, rather than on Saturday at 11 p.m. or something when your pacer is going to join you.
Yes, please.
Let's see. All right, we had a question come in. Let's pop
Good
this in
question.
there. Can you set up a canopy tent on Friday night if you don't plan on camping that night, or does that need to be set up on Saturday morning?
I think that's a great idea. Less stress on you equals less stress on us.
Totally. Yes. And it'll be in the daylight as well. If you can come on Friday, it'll be
Mhm.
a lot less stress, which is always great. So, yes, highly recommend. Okay, this is a question that we have gotten probably a dozen times. So that told me that it needed to be added to the Trail Party Handbook, which I did add a couple weeks ago. But this question has been asked a few times. Pacers can start at sunset on Saturday. Can they continue running with me on Sunday? Yes. So once sunset hits on Saturday, they can stay with you until you finish your event. So all of our races now, it's standard across the board for Sasquatch. We allow pacers at sunset. And that actually came out of this race because we heard a lot of feedback the last 2 years that it was really tough to wait until later in the evening to get a pacer for a number of reasons. One of the big ones being wildlife and just a fear of the critters that are out there. So we were
But
happy
they're not.
to make this change.
Those bears aren't in the park anymore. They're in the Dollar General nearby.
Oh my gosh, I know. That was the news. There was a bear. You know what? Let's not even talk about it. We won't.
Just search Bear Dollar General, Sussex, New Jersey.
Yes. All right. Next one, Joe. Why don't you take this? Can crew members come and go when not aiding their runner?
Yeah, we hope you go out, take care of yourselves. Enjoy the park as best you can. There are supermarkets nearby that you can make a run to. The restaurants, gas stations, whatever you need, you come and go. As long as you have your hang tag in your car, there's no issues with parking. You just may lose your parking spot.
That's true. I know that is true. Yeah, and no leaving cones in the lot to reserve your
Hmm.
spot. That brings up a good point. I do want to mention to you guys again. This is online in our everything we publish, but RVs are welcome. We can have RV setups. You can car camp. You can RV camp in the parking lot, but we do ask that you do not set up canopy tents in the parking lot because that eats up real estate for parking. So if you're going to do tents, that needs to be on the grass and again staked down. So don't set up your whole like camp setup in the parking lot. That needs to be on the grass. All right, here's another one for you, Joe. Are there age group awards?
No.
No.
Sorry, I have a special dislike of age group awards. No, we just have top three in all the genders: male, female, and non-binary.
Correct. Yep. No age group awards for any of our events. All right. Now we have about 4 questions that are more less race logistics, more looking for advice from runners. These are some really great questions. I think we both can probably contribute. So, first one: any advice for back of the Packers for staying positive when they come into the start finish in the middle of their run and they're seeing faster runners finish?
Oh, yeah, we don't call them backpackers. That's party pace.
Party
Um,
pace.
Party pace. You are getting your value. You're getting much time out on the course. You're getting to enjoy it a lot more than the faster people. And that's just my opinion. But it's your race. You do
Mhm.
what you do. You're challenging yourself. Don't worry about the person who's coming through running as fast as they can. That's their race that they're going for. Make a friend. There's a lot of buddying up over the years. People just meet people in the dark, make best friends.
Totally. Yeah, and we'll mention too that uh one thing that always happens and sometimes catches the longer distance folks off guard is that Sunday morning, right? There's all these shorter distances that are starting and these like especially the 10K half marathon, they are like pedal to the
Yes.
metal. They're going out hard. So just be aware of that. We do try to look at like if there's some of you longer distances that are coming through the chute, we will wait. We're not going to say ready, set, go, and then send off 200 people that are sprinting. But just be aware there will be
Mhm.
people who are getting after it Sunday morning. So that is what is going to be happening. Okay, Yen, yes, party pacers unite. We love the party pace. Love the party pace. Okay, next question. Looking for advice. What advice do you have for first time ultra runners? Joe, what do you got?
Are you sure you want to do this? It's an experience. You put a lot of time and effort into it. Enjoy it more than anything else. Um, it's your race. That's it. And if you have a question, ask someone. It's a very welcoming community. If there's something that's bugging you, or if you feel something just that doesn't make sense, or you have a hot spot in your foot, get it taken care of. If ask someone about it, they're going to say what they know.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely just to echo what Joe said. It's this is a really fun first trail race and we have a lot of first timers that are coming this weekend, so this is a great event to try out trail running for the first time. One of the biggest reasons is that you really have the pressure of time cutoffs that it's just not there because you have so much time. So um, like Joe just said, enjoy yourself, enjoy the aid station. The aid station is ridiculous.
Mhm. Oh, and that's my other one bit of advice for first timers. When in doubt, just eat.
Yeah, it's
If
true.
you feel sad, eat. If you hurt, eat. If you're hungry, you should probably eat. If you don't, if you're bored, eat.
That's it. That's a good point. And if you've been watching any of our other webinars, that is a common piece of advice that has come up. I know from Chaos Crewing, from Thor, we just did the medical webinar is, when you're struggling, a lot of times it can be solved with some food, with a little snickety. All right, this was a great question. What are some key items that runners carry with them or leave at the aid station? So, Joe, you and I didn't mention
Ooh.
this before. Joe is co-race director, and his primary uh, role is the timing. So he is seeing you guys cross the finish line over and over and over again. So you probably have a good perspective on this. What have you seen most often with runners? Like, are they going out with packs? Do they have belts? What are they taking with them when they go out in their loops?
Pretty much everyone has got something with them for the long distances: a pack, a belt. But this is also not the time to change what you know.
Yeah.
If whatever you've been training with and you are comfortable with, wear it race day. That's what you know. But everyone carries electrolytes, carries water, carries a little bit of food, and some kind of personal comfort item, or some memento that just keeps you going in the middle of the night. Oh, and headlamps. Everyone has to carry headlamps and a spare head. Should carry a spare headlamp.
Yes. Yes. Do not forget your headlamp. Bring extra batteries, even if you know, like, oh, I fully charged it or it's fresh
Mhm.
batteries. Still bring extra batteries with you. All right. One more question. Great one to end on. This is our last one. How do I not quit when it gets really hard?
Oh, well, if you come through timing and you start saying you're think you want to quit, I'm gonna lie to you a lot. We're gonna say things to convince you. I'm gonna apologize ahead of time if if I make you cry, but I'm not trying to. But we're going to give you as much encouragement, as much information as possible. And half that time is going to be go eat something, go drink something, take a nap, um, do what you need to do to to come out of your dark hole. But again, talk to other people, make friends on the trail. You're going to pull someone along. Something you say might brighten their day, get them going. Something they say may just make you keep going.
I'm going to share a story. Uh, Joe, I don't know if you'll remember this or not, but this is one of my favorite Wild Goose stories. And Joe was the center of it. So we had a runner who came in. I think he was doing the 36-hour event, and he came in and was like, "I'm done. I'm giving you my bib. I don't want to run anymore. I'm done. I got the miles I wanted to." And I am telling you, Joe turned into Obi-Wan Kenobi with his Jedi mind tricks. And he was like, "You're going to go out and run another loop." And it went back and forth a little bit. And Joe was like, again, like, "You're going to go get a snack, and then you're going to run
Mhm.
another loop, and then you're going to decide." And that runner I watched was like, "Yeah, I'm going to go get a snack, and then I'm going to run another loop, and then we'll see."
It's all next steps. Just got to get you to the next step. That reminds me of I was crewing for one of my best friends. He was doing an overnight race. He was done. It was right
Mhm.
before sunrise. I'm like just trying to keep him going on this loop race, and I literally let him sleep for a little bit. I just had to walk him 15 feet into the sun. He hits the sun. He's wearing
Oh,
a blanket.
yeah.
He just throws the blanket off, and he's like starts running.
Mhm.
Like he was ready to quit, and then the sun hit him, and then he's off again. So make it to the daylight. That's going to get you through the night.
Yeah. That's a really great point. I'm glad you brought that up because that's something that as a first time 100 miler, especially if you've never run through the night, um, they say like hours 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. are the toughest. And that's where a lot of races go to die, a little bit morbid. But if, like Joe just said, if you can push through to sunrise and get that first light, it change. It's chemical. It does change
Mhm.
something in your brain, and it gives you that second win that you need to keep going. So I think that's great advice there.
All right,
Uh,
this is an excellent question to come in.
yes.
Are the bathrooms big enough for the amount of people, or should we make other arrangements? Yes, the bathrooms are designed for the park to take on large crowds of people. They are pit toilets with running water, so these aren't flush toilets, right? Yeah, these
Correct.
aren't
Yeah.
flush toilets, so they do get a little stinky, and the water is cold. As long as we don't have massive rains that flood out the septic system again, the
Yeah.
bathrooms will be just fine.
Yes. And last year, um, that was one of the feedbacks is they ran out of soap. So I've already got a bunch of soap that is in the first aid bin or the aid station bins ready to go. So they will be put out. And I did pick like the pumpkin spice and the cinnamon flavored soap. Come on, it's the time of the year. We got to get some good vibes going there. But
And since we're on the bathroom topic, Kim, feminine products are sponsored, correct?
yes, yes. All the menstrual products are sponsored by Dr. Colleen Drehos, and she will be on site. We're really excited. That was our last email that went out, was announcing like all the people who are going to be partying with us that weekend. So Dr. Drehos is one of them. She's going to be set up with her tent, and she is hosting a chafin station, which means she's going to be giving out some products for anti-chafe. That is a really good pit stop to make there. Our friends at Chaos Crewing will be on site. They will be especially helpful for folks who are there solo, who are not bringing a crew. And they are also setting up a recovery lounge, which is exciting. That's open to anybody. They will have like foam rollers and massage guns, and Chaos Crewing is also hosting the coffee. So that is very, very important. They're gonna have our 100 cup coffee maker, and they're gonna be brewing that up all weekend. And then Women in Ultra Running will be there. The founder, Rachel Bambrick, will be on site with some of her other members. They're going to be hosting the Glitter Station with Wild Sense Goods, which is fun. If you were with us at the Squatch Apple in March, all these names are familiar because all those badass women were with us
Mhm.
at that point as well. And then who else? We've got the food truck is going to be on site all weekend, just at our final call yesterday. Went over the menu, and they're really excited to come. They're local. They're in Vernon, so we're happy to support them. And then I think that's it. Oh, also we have Eco Endurance is coming. They're setting up a table. If you want to learn more about, they host some retreats. I think specifically in Ecuador, I believe. But you can learn more about that. Mara will be on site to share more. So this is your last chance if you're watching live to pop a question in the chat. Otherwise, Joe, do you have anything else that you want to throw out there?
Let's see some thoughts from the timing table. Um,
Yes.
Only cross the mats once.
Ah,
So as
yes.
the way we have the loops designed, you come through, everyone crosses the timing mat, starts another loop. You can go to your tent before you finish the loop. You can go to your tent after finish the loop, but you only run across that timing mat once per loop. And if you do it a second time by accident or get too close, just tell us. We'll take care of it in the timing system.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's
Yeah.
that's something that's always asked. Is like, oh, can I go over it again? What should I do? So
And
that's your answer there.
yeah, we'll be doing our best to set up some kind of display system so you can see at least where you are on the course. We are still working with a new timing system this year, and this is going to be its big test. We have a lot going on in it. We have a lot of contingency plans in case something happens. And I have a display system. We just don't know if it's going to work on this long of a race.
Yes, it's true. 36 hours is a very long time to keep things running. Um, Before we sign off, I do want to go over real quick just the schedule for Friday. Again, this has been sent out already, but you guys can arrive on site at 2 o'clock to start setting up. Please don't come earlier than that. And please don't come earlier and then ask me, like, oh, can I please set up? Just wait till 2 o'clock because we got to get some stuff set up first. That's going to help you know where you can set up. And also, that's the arrangements that we have with our park permit. So please wait till 2 o'clock, and then you've got the whole rest of the day to start setting up. Our first panel is at 3:30. We're doing that with Chaos Crewing. They're going to be dishing out some crewing and pacing advice. It's going to be really great. We're stoked to have Ashley and Brittany on site for that. 4:15 is our Voices from the Flock panel, where we're going to have some past finishers of the Wild Goose Trail Festival. We're going to have Lauren Scott. They're a non-binary Sasquatcher, and they volunteered I don't even know how many hours last year. I was trying to send them home, but they just stayed the whole time because they were having so much fun. But Lauren also completed the 12-hour, which we used to have. We don't have that anymore, but that was during Hurricane Tropical Storm Ophelia. So they've got a lot of experience. And then Silvana is a long-time Sasquatter, and she's going to be doing the 50 miler this weekend. So she's going to be on the panel to chat. And then at 5 o'clock, we're going to do a pre-race meeting Q&A. So we'll go over lots of important information, give you one last chance to ask questions. Myself and Joe will be leading that. And then we will have a check-in hour from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. And this is good for all the distances. So if you're making the weekend out of it, even if you're a 10Ker, you can check in at that point. We will get you your bib. We just ask you don't lose your bib between Friday evening and when your race starts. And then the last item for Friday evening is 7:15 p.m. We're going to show the Long Path: The Journey of Becoming documentary. We've done some screenings already, which has been super cool. This one is a real treat because the filmmaker, Shai Ben-Dor, will be on site to show that. And then you'll have an opportunity to ask Shai and myself some questions afterwards if you want to do that. And we will have live streaming through the weekend. It's not going to be like the 24/7 live stream. We've got some segments that are planned out. We sent that out via email. But we're stoked that Sasquatch El Monte Vinny is going to be hosting, and Shai is leading the tech team for the live stream. So you can catch that on our YouTube channel. You can, well, if you're watching this now, then share this link with your friends and family to tune into the live stream. So I think that's it. It's been 45 minutes. We will wrap it
Mhm.
there. Unless Joe, you got anything else? Feeling good?
No, just getting ready to for have a fun weekend. No sleep.
Yes. Joe does the he always does the overnight graveyard shift. So he's the true hero. He's tougher than I am.
I got to
So
find a better place to sleep in the morning this time.
that's true. That is very true. Okay, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. This has been fantastic. We cannot wait to see you this coming weekend. There's been so much that has gone into this. I mean, Joe can attest, we literally start planning this the day after the race ends. So last year, on Monday, we had a debrief and all the planning started, and it's just been pedaled to the metal since then. And we are stoked to support you as you come out this weekend and honk your heart out, as
Oh
our
yeah.
motto says. Thank you to everybody who is throwing some comments up there. We appreciate you all. All right, until we see you again, keep it squatchy.
Bye bye, everybody.